Today we're going to build a car that, let's be honest, doesn't get a ton of attention online, but has all the potential of being a straight up supercar killer. The goal here is to go a relatively simple route while still making big power. No big top mount turbo kit, no port injection, and overall nothing super flashy. This is Bonner, and this is his 2024 BMW M440i Grand Coupe. He's a good friend of ours that was deployed a few months ago, and he left his car behind for us to modify the right way. And that's exactly what we decided to do. So on these two tables, we have everything we need to get this M440i to make 700 wheel horsepower. Starting off with the fueling upgrades, we have S58 injectors, we have the flex fuel kit from Z-Tronics, Precision Raceworks, fuel pump upgrade stage 2, and there's also one thing that we're missing here because it's currently installed onto the car, and that's the Dorsch DS25 high pressure fuel pump upgrade. We have this very sophisticated looking oil catch can setup here. Got the very pretty and shiny and colorful charge pipe upgrade. A massive intake system that we're going to use because of the upgraded turbo that we decided to run for this car, which is the Dynamic AutoWorks 6769 B58 Gen 2 6-port turbo upgrade that installs in the factory location. We also have the turbo blankets here, the Dynamic AutoWorks beefy upgraded inlet, the CSF high performance heat exchanger, the absolutely fat boy mad 5-inch downpipe, and we have the complete AWE track exhaust system for the car, paired with the diamond black 4-inch quad exhaust tips, which look very, very nice. And to ensure that we put all the power down, since this M440i is rear-wheel drive, we have some weld bead locks wrapped in some Mickey Thompson sticky icky tires. The color is really cool. We have the brush silver here on the insides, and for the face we have gloss black. The same with the ring that goes for the beadlock. Very cool. I do like the little toucher right here as well, so I think it's gonna look very nice with Brooklyn gray. I'll make it super easy for you guys. I'll have all these parts linked down in the video's description. We do sell pretty much everything that you see here on these two tables, including the wheels, with the exception of the charge pipes, the heat shield here, and the intake, but I'll still link those down in the video's description. If you guys have any questions about any of the parts that we offer, feel free to email us at support@vehiclevarus.com, or if you go on the website, there is a chat function where you can speak to one of us, and we'd be happy to help you guys out. Purchasing any of these parts directly through us at vehiclevarus.com would really help support the channel so we can continue to make content just like this. I did want to let you guys know that we did revise the website like entirely from top to bottom, so it's much easier to find the parts for your specific car. It's cleaner, and we did add additional things. So if you haven't been to the website in a while, I encourage you guys to check us out. I'll leave a link down in the video's description. All right, so we'll start off with the bottom side of the car, take off all the panels, remove the factory exhaust, so then we can go to the engine bay and start with the turbo. All right. Oh, that's nice and tight.
Can I get a what the hell?
What the hell? Why Jake would just include that portion. Why does a 2024 car have so much goddamn spider webs? I guess one thing we want to mention is that we don't know if the AWE exhaust is going to fit, because the Grand Coupe on the M440i has this additional race thing going on down here.
Gets real close, and back here too.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So similar to like convertible cars where fitment can be kind of finicky on other models, I guess we're going to find out. Either way, if it doesn't work plug and play, we got this guy right here. Sick! The battery died.
I'm not ready. I need my socket. Hurry up. Hurry up.
He's ready.
Oh yeah!
Oh.
That's a big ball sack you're holding there.
In my pants.
Disregard these cuts. You know?
Are these pie cuts, dude?
Are these factory?
That's factory hole. You know, this is where the valve is.
That's a factory exhaust leak. Thanks, BMW.
You like these tips?
What is going on here?
Damn.
Hey, factory, dog. After taking a ton of stuff off, we were able to spot a ton of coolant residue all over the front part of the engine.
Wait a minute. That's
that.
coolant, bro?
Oh my God. Oil leak.
An oil leak?
All right, guys, so plot twist, we're doing maintenance today.
2024 car.
At this point, I really couldn't believe it. A 2024 B58 powered car with an oil leak and a massive coolant leak already. Like, what?
BMW's best, most reliable engine, B58 Gen 2.
Pop the hood. Ball sack.
Yes.
The Megadome.
It was Ike's turn. He went ahead and started uninstalling the stock turbo. One of the big plus about working on the B58 turbo is that you have all the room that you can possibly want on that side of the engine bay, making things much simpler. The new Dynamic AutoWorks Turbo is one sweet upgrade. It was released this year in 2024. It installs in a factory location, features an SS manifold that outperforms the factory one by around 30%. It has a forged S-shaped milled compressor wheel and an upgraded thrust assembly. The goal here is to have similar characteristics as the factory turbo without running out of breath in the mid and in the high range.
Look who's working on my E90.
See, you know, Bar's Performance.
Bar's Performance is working on the E90.
They call the real mechanics. So you know, we're here, out here. You know, listen, we're gonna get this thing right. You know, this thing is gonna be right after this. Liar! You are a liar.
Damn, look at all that room, bruh. No need to drop subframe, no nothing. Beefy turbo. Despite how beefy it is, it's very nicely. It's not rubbing up against anything. And it is pretty close to the heat shield here, but once you bolt it on and install the AW exhaust, it should break it down a little bit. There is a flex portion here. All right, we're putting on the turbo blankets. Look at that, pretty. Quickly just kind of show you guys that the total charge pipe was installed off camera. I heard that wasn't fun to install though.
It required, what, 2 pry bars and a hammer? And some cutting.
The main reason we're doing this is because in some B58 cars that we've worked on, when we go tune the car and do some logs, ITs are always pretty high, 130 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Same thing happened to the Supra, and same thing happened with an M340 customer car that we had, where it pulls timing because of the IATs. So we're trying to minimize that by including this turbo blanket. So we originally had the Dyno intake set up for the M440, which is a Bonner the customer wanted for the car. But then we were told by Dynamic AutoWorks that this would not be a very good option for the 6769 turbo upgrade and that we needed to go with something much bigger, which is why we have the other Ram style intake instead. So we're probably gonna end up selling this Dyno intake, which is brand new, uninstalled. If you're interested, hit up Swap Depot on Instagram and then he can let you know what that price is. I would hate to be the victim to be on this end and then Ali farts on this end.
Comes in your ear with velocity.
Yeah, look at the diameter on that filter, boy. Whoa, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You been at Didi's house?
What's that?
The catch can was pretty cool, a setup that we really haven't installed in the past, but it did have some fitment issues, especially with the beauty cover.
Oh,
This is not gonna go on. Nope.
That's it, complete.
All right, guys, we're deleting the beauty cover, which we quickly took care of.
Precision.
So it doesn't have fuzzies, you know?
Moving on to the heat exchanger upgrade. We have done several of these in the shop, and we tend to always remove the front bumper due to tackling other stuff at the same time. But for this car, we didn't want to do all that and wanted to see if we can leave the front bumper attached while doing the upgrade. It was tricky, but definitely doable. Once we got most of the stuff unhooked up top, we moved to the bottom side of the car and drained coolant. Ta-da! To get the upgraded radiator to slide in here, I have these 2 plastic tabs. There's one on this side, one on the other side. That's to hold the factory transmission cooler. But since the CSF upgrade comes with the transmission brackets here, we're not gonna need that. We're gonna have to chop off that plastic air and that plastic air right here as well. So we are kind of big believers of CSF cooling products here, and here's a big reason why. Here's the CSF one, triple pass heat exchanger, high performance, versus the factory one, which is like 1/3 of the thickness. Think about it, because this is, I think, is a single pass unit, so the coolant only really goes through it once. This one is. I think the CSF radiator for like HIC cars is like our top selling product because the plastic end tanks will fail over time. Metal end tanks, a much more robust design, and for the most part, it's plug and play. Other than you have to cut that tab on that side and that side, but yeah.
Plug and play. We're gonna plug it in and play.
There you go, fully seated.
The AWE catback track exhaust was very interesting. Not because of the setup itself, but because the M440i is a Grand Coupe, and similar to the convertible, has extra support underneath for structural rigidity. We had a feeling this wasn't going to work very well.
Important fitment note. AWE exhausts for G2X M440i, M440i are not approved to fit the Grand Coupe vehicles. Because the Grand Coupe has the braces underneath, and we have this right here, that's an issue. And that's also an issue. This seems like it unbolts, but then you wouldn't have the braces, which I don't know how Bonner's gonna feel about that. But this is actually his fault. Instead of getting this exhaust system through us so we can verify fitment, he just purchased it and sent it to our shop. And now we're stuck with this dilemma. This build was only supposed to take 24 hours, you know?
Yeah, it's 24 hours on YouTube.
Well, it's gonna be like 20 minutes on YouTube probably.
Exactly.
There you go, guys. It fits now. Now you got like an empty ball sack here. Alright guys, so here's a quick look. We're just kind of doing a test fit right now. But the most important thing is we wanted to make sure that the tips were centered to the cutout on the diffuser, which looks fine. And as far as these middle pipes, we didn't realize, but there's a bend here. The easiest way to know if you're installing it correctly is that the top part or the highest part of the bend has to sit straight up, and that's how you get that to go there. And since we removed, you know, where the braces connect to, there's no more fitment issues.
This is not like...
Ta-da! Meeting!
Probably like, why are you guys putting these bead locks on a street car? Why are you doing a 67, 69 on a street car? Who cares?
It's a rear-wheel drive car. Who cares? We're trying to have some fun here.
This fitment is pretty much spot on for this car. The car is pretty low because it has coilovers.
Oh yeah, it has
ECS tuning.
ECS tuning coilovers. I guess that's why we didn't put that on the table, because it was already installed from a few months back. Uh-oh. It is. And it's pretty spot on. Here's the top of the fender, and there's the tire.
Assembly for the Stage 2 fuel pump upgrade from Precision Raceworks was up next. This simple upgrade used 74% more flow compared to stock, and it's rated for 850 horsepower on pump gas, which is insane. For this build, that is way more than we'd need, but it will give the owner the flexibility to chase more power in the future if he desires. The instructions Precision Raceworks supplies for all their upgrades is also a big plus. Makes things super easy to put together.
There it is, guys. Assemble.
Complete.
Yes.
Since we are talking about fueling, I also wanted to shed light on probably one of the most important upgrades we are doing to the M440i. Without it, our 700 horsepower goal wouldn't be possible. The Dorsch DS25 high pressure fuel pump upgrade. When paired with the S58 injectors like we're doing, the setup can support just over 700 horsepower plus on E50. Guys, that is on direct injection only, without the need of port injection. I have a similar setup on my wide body F30, and that car absolutely rips.
And it is literally orgasmic. All right, so first things first, we're using the MHD platform to tune the car. And for the tuner, we are using obviously the same guy we always use for all of my cars, and that's David Shoup. We use the MHD wireless adapter to connect to the car, which is our top selling product. So we'll connect that to the OBD port, which on the M440 is down here. We'll go into the Wi-Fi settings. This is not a Bluetooth adapter, guys, so we'll connect to it. We'll open up the MHD F&G series app. First thing that I like to do, we'll read DME codes. And of course we have a bunch of shit. We've been working on the car, so you got all the codes here. But anyways, now we know we're connected to the car. And we have the map that David sent over, so we'll load that on there. And before you write to the DME, we want to go to options. There's a few things we need to select. For CAN bus, ECA preset, we're gonna do the Z-Tronic Flex Fuel. It's all integrated. That's a cool thing about MHD Plus, to remove top speed limiter, which is a very cool thing that you normally can't do with these non-M cars from factory. For whatever reason, they don't offer the option to increase your speed limit on non-M cars. Did you know that?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah,
I
so on
figured it
M
was
cars
part of
you
the
can get the
tune.
performance package that includes like the track time, and it increases the top speed. But on the non-M cars, there's not an option from factory to remove that. So with MHD, you can do that. And then for injectors, S58, since we are rocking the S58 injectors and not the stock ones.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and flash the car. I do recommend normally like hook up a battery charger to the car. But in this situation, battery's fine and it's gonna take less than a minute to flash, so we're good to go. All right, so we'll do the first start here. That's the first thing David asked me to do, is start the car and make sure it starts up all right. And then we'll get this baby on the road and do some logging. No hiccups, she sound healthy. M440s don't normally get this much love, but man, this car is gonna be f***ing saucy, I already know it.
Bro, you hear that? The turbs.
I just don't think he can make a B58 sound bad. That's race exhaust, doesn't have a muffler.
I think it sounds pretty good.
Exhaust good. It'll probably open up, you know, once we take it out for a rib.
It's definitely tickling my eardrums.
All right, guys, first drive here. We're not doing some crazy pulls, okay? 2,500 to 4,000 at first to make sure everything checks out.
Wow, that's very drony.
It's a race exhaust. What do you expect? No muffler. It is very loud in here. Did he put the back seat back on?
Vibrating. Yeah, bro, it's here.
So saucy. I mean, that's probably the fastest car I've been on in the last few months.
Yeah, 19 horsepower.
Bro.
Obviously, this is the very first test tune to make sure everything's running right. I think we peaked at around 14 PSI. So not a lot of sauce. The car's also on 93 octane. We'll send this log over to David and see what he says. So the reason that first pull wasn't too saucy was we hit a torque limiter. According to David, torque limiter for these cars is 500 Newton meters, and we were upwards of 550, 560 Newton meters with that one tune that he sent us. So we have XHP. So we'll tune the transmission, something we were planning to do, just totally forgot about it. We'll do stage 3. If you look at the information section here, torque limiters removed. That's exactly what we're trying to get to here. Obviously, it's gonna make the shifts a little bit faster, crispier, and allow the transmission to hold more power. So we'll do that. There you go, flashing.
Can we flash my car too? I forgot.
XHP?
Yeah, stage 2, not stage 3. I don't want to break my, whatever.
You said the XHP on the X3M is too aggressive.
That's everybody's complaint, and we already know this.
More aggressive, the better.
Yeah, stage 3 literally feels like I'm going to break the car.
No.
Yeah.
Well, remember we talked about it? If you do stage 3, but then you don't have your shift logic or whatever that's called.
What's the point then?
Well, because you can, it says it on the description. It says
there's
lower the drive logic to lower gear speed or whatever.
They literally say on a bunch of Facebook groups, they're like, oh yeah, I did the stage 3 and I lost time on 60 to 130 on stage 3.
Yeah, but do they have the drive logic all the way maxed out too?
That's the whole point. That's when it shifts the fastest.
Regardless, we are almost done.
And it's still gonna be a turd probably.
Hey,
This thing feels slow as f.
Don't be talking about boating like that.
Because it was the torque limiter.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, for this transmission, they only have V1. They've never updated it.
Sick. So it's either gonna be really good or really bad.
It's not even V1 point anything.
No, it's just V1.
It's like the MHD N55 PWG tunes.
Bro,
It got up to 1.3 and it was like, yeah, we're done.
That
We're
shit
done with this.
stayed in beta, my boy. Damn.
We're done with this piece of shit.
let go. She's partying, all right?
That was a party for sure. I don't know about you guys.
That was the fucking slowest
Having
pull
a
I've
great time back here.
Okay, so apparently we had another torque limiter issue and we addressed it. So third time is a charm, right? Hopefully.
Sure.
I mean, it picked up something and the f***ing turbo was loud as hell. Was that a fart at the end? All right, guys, we need a little bit more sauce, so we stopped at the fuel station so we can get some E85. Trying to get up to E50 since we have a little bit less than a full tank. And maybe we can actually party. Oh, so we have the ethanol content reading right here at 46. So E46, guys, let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, that felt faster.
It's definitely pulling.
For sure, that definitely felt faster. All right, so David sent us another revision. We're actually fast forwarding a bit. We've done a few logs off camera because it was super repetitive. This might be one of the final revisions. The last few pulls that we did off camera were actually pretty freaking fast and saucy. The car definitely pulls a ton up top. Obviously the size of the turbo has a lot to do with that. So yeah, let's get this possibly last log in, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. At 30 gear pull, 2500 to redline. Okay, I would definitely say that is the sauciest tune yet. Alright, let's do second gear. About 3500 RPM, we'll roll into it. The thing pulls, right?
She goes.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you guys something too here. Let me get on third gear, lower RPM, 40% throttle. Notice how it just wants to go.
Oh my God.
And if that's 40% throttle, 40% throttle, then I'll punch it. Yeah, the car goes. The car just wants to go. That's just what it is. It wants to go. It's crazy because it's a 67, 69 bigger turbo. You would think it's a ton of lag. I mean, there's a little bit. It doesn't make it undrivable.
Once it's spooling, it seems like it's ready to go.
Dude, it is. Yeah, like
you can probably tell from the camera position as I'm like, oh.
There's a good jump. Like even like fifth gear, a little bit of throttle, just a little bit. By the way, I don't know if you guys can pick up the turbo sound.
Yeah, can we roll the window a little bit? This thing sounds insane, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Can y'all hear the turbo sound? I hope y'all can hear it on your end. That is insane, bro. That Dynamic AutoWorks turbo upgrade is it. Holy shit, that sounds good, man. I think Bonner's gonna be super happy with this car. Let's try anti-lag. We haven't tried it out on this car yet. Oh my God! No! Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay. I'm sold. I love this car. I love the setup. I love the power. Oh my God!
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was not expecting it. That like actually threw me back.
What's that? Oh my God. Oh, dude. I kind of want to do it again. Let's take a look at how much PSI it builds. I won't actually launch it, but I just want to see how much pounds of boost it actually
We're looking at this gauge,
PSI,
by
yeah.
the way.
Okay, so it does a little bit. I let go.
Okay, I was like, yo.
So I don't know if it's the gauge here that's maxing out at 20. I don't know. It's definitely more than 16 PSI because on the MHD app it says 16 PSI max. We definitely got over 16 PSI. That is very nice. That's where we're gonna leave things off. We're trying to include a dyno portion into this video as well so you guys can see how much power the car is making. I mean, my butt dyno says we're close to 700 horsepower, if not at 700 horsepower, but we do have Hurricane Milton on the way and we got to prepare for that, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to dyno the car. So yeah, subscribe so you guys don't miss out on the next video. We'll do the dyno, and we're also going to surprise Bonner because it'll be his first time actually taking delivery of his car with all the modifications and driving it for the first time, which is going to be exciting. So subscribe to the channel, like the video if you guys enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.